Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
To some, this is just a ball. To Iowa Farm Bureau, it's much more. It's opportunity for small-town kids to make it big. It's our youth, our community leaders, our past, our future. It's hopes and dreams, passion and pride. To Iowa Farm Bureau, this is the reason we work so hard. This is Iowa. Iowa Farm Bureau. People, progress, and pride.
Good morning. There are 4 games left before we start handing out championship trophies. So let's find out who's going to play in the 2A title game. 1A will come a little bit later, but here from Wells Fargo Arena in the girls state basketball tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau, it is time for state basketball between the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats and the Nodaway Valley Wolverines. Both teams 24-0 alongside Andy Pollack. I'm Paul Yeager, and Andy, something finally has to give. This is the first undefeated matchup we've had in the tournament, and it comes for a berth in the state final.
Well, not just undefeated teams, but 2 teams with not exactly the same styles, but 2 teams are going to want to run and get up and down the floor. For a play-by-play man today, you're going to have to have these numbers ready to roll because you're going to see a lot of scoring in a hurry at any given time with either of these 2 teams.
And they can do it from the outside as well as the inside. Nodaway Valley, which is on the court still in their road black uniforms, Nodaway Valley, they will feature Maddox DeVault. She scored 17 against North Lynn in the late game on Tuesday night, a 9 o'clock tip. Lindsay Davis, 24, Nodaway Valley. And then they are coached by Brian Eisbach. And Davis there, 20 points, 4 boards, and 4 steals. And DeVault, 17 and 2. Now, the Wildcats, they took a little more complicated route to get here. They trailed in the whole first half against Rock Valley and then had a great third quarter. Ella Emler led them with 20 points, 4 boards, and 2 assists. They outscored Rock Valley 46-20 in the final 3 quarters of that win, Andy.
It's easy once you get down here to fall into kind of the trap of not being able to shoot well early on in games, and that was certainly the issue with Maquoketa Valley, a little bit of nerves early on, but once they started to catch their stride, they were fine, they were in good shape, and there's a reason they're ranked number 1.
All right, we will step away for a moment and bring you the Kruger Seats for Success as the Nodaway Valley Wolverines make a huddle. We'll huddle as well and be back in a moment. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible. Casey's curbside pickup. What a play. Bring it in home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's Pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Back at the girls' state basketball tournament, Nodaway Valley, Maquoketa Valley on the court right now. Warming up in the white shorts there on the left side of your screen. That's Maquoketa Valley, and they will be the home team as they are the number one seed in Class 2A, where Nodaway Valley, well, they're the 3, or I'm sorry, yeah, they're the 4, but they're playing, Andy, not like a 4. They're playing like, hey, we think this is wide open. Yeah, we think Eastern Iowa teams are okay, but we think we're pretty special.
Well, this 2A field is just stacked anyway. As you look around and look and see who's left with Nodaway Valley, Maquoketa Valley, like you said, 2 undefeated teams. West Branch, the 2 seed, I believe, is what they are, the 3rd seed right now, and they're 21-1, and just 1 loss this year to Cascade, who's always very good, and then Dyke New Hartford undefeated as well, rounds out the semifinal. So there's a lot of talented teams in Class 2A, and actually some pretty similar styles with all these teams as well. So going to be a fun semifinals and finals as we whittle this down to 1 champion.
All right, let's take a look at your Cougar seeds for success, Andy Pollock, if you're Nodaway Valley.
Well, they want to identify the shooters from Maquoketa Valley. There's a lot of them out there. They're a very balanced team, so they want to identify them, and when they get back in transition, find each of those shooters. And on the Nodaway Valley offensive side of things, press the tempo for a short period. On Tuesday, they were forced into playing more of a half-court game. They can do it, but it's not what they want to do. Push that tempo, push the ball, and run.
And for the Wildcats of Maquoketa Valley.
Well, they have they got to be able to execute in the half-court. If they turn this into a running up-and-down game, I think in this particular matchup, Nodaway Valley would be a little bit better at it. So to be able to execute in the half-court, and then the balance. They've always got someone. They've got 4 very balanced scorers on their team with Gonzalez, excuse me, wrong one, with Emler, Tucker, and Wittenball, and one of them can step in for the other at any given time. So that balance, and Nodaway Valley is going to probably look to take out 1 or 2. It's about impossible to take out 3, though.
Today's Seeds for Success are brought to you by Cougar Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Cougar Seeds dealer a call. Cougar Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at cougarseed.com. We will take one final break. When we come back, the starting lineups will meet everybody that's in uniform and the coaches, and we'll play some basketball too. The 4A, the final 4 of Class 2A begins in a moment.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
I got it.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
The Iowa Bankers Association is proud to help students reach their goals both financially and educationally. That's why they are honored to provide 5 student athletes from this year's basketball tournament with $1,000 scholarships. Follow their Facebook page, facebook.com/Iowa Bankers, to see the winners. Moments away from the introductions, final instructions from coaches to teams as they try to block out the extra noise, but it's the second time through for this cycle. They're old hats at it. So are we. Let's go across to public address and meet the teams.
Good morning, fans. Welcome to today's 2021 Girls State Basketball Semifinal matchup featuring the Nodaway Valley Wolverines and the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats.
The score of any game may be forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and fans are remembered.
Sportsmanship is an attitude that can have a positive influence on everyone around you in the stands and on the court.
How do you want to be remembered? Support your team positively and enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
It's now time to introduce the players in today's semifinal matchup. First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Wolverines. Number 11, Annika Nelson. Number 15, Taryn Getler. Number 35, Erin Ford. Number 41, Whitney Lamb. Number 45, Bella Hogan. Number 51, Madison Karstens. And number 53, Georgia Holiday. The assistant coach for the Wolverines, Amy Sivage. And now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Wildcats. Number 3, Kaylin Sands. Number 5, Kennedy Rouse. Number 11, Ella Minson. Number 22, Anna Nefsger. Number 23, Liz McDowell. Number 25, Haley Runabaum. Number 31, Caitlin Nolan. Number 33, Isabel Imler. Number 35, Paige Winter. At number 44, Aaron Knipper. The assistant coaches for the Wildcats, Brad Huber, Jesse Wooten, Heidi Hager, and Allie Sherman. And now, let's meet your starters for both teams. First up for the Wolverines, a 5'6" junior, number 13, Maddox DeVault. For the Wildcats, a 5'8" junior, number 10, Carissa Sabers. For the Wolverines, a 5'7" freshman, number 23, Lindsay Davis. And for the Wildcats, a 5'9" junior, number 13, Kylie Chestnut. For the Wolverines, a 5'2" senior, number 25, Macy Coons. For the Wildcats, a 5'6" senior, number 15, Ella Imler. For the Wolverines, a 5'6" senior, number 31, Lexi Scheich. For the Wildcats, a 5'9" senior, number 20, Taya Tucker. For the Wolverines, a 5'11" senior, number 33, Corinne Bond. And for the Wildcats, a 5'10" senior, number 21, Emerson Wittenbaugh. Head coach for the Wolverines is Brian Eisbach. And for the Wildcats, Scott Monk. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table for the introduction of our officials for today's game as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Mr. Chad Shellmeyer, Mr. Chris Thomas, and Mr. Joel Crayenbrink. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please join us and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America and those who protect our freedom with the playing of our national anthem and a recorded performance by the Mount Pleasant High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, streaming,
All right, we've got your starting lineups there, the Wildcats. Coach Scott Monk, Coach of the Year in his district in 2A. Brian Eisbach, Coach of the Year in his district. There's the Nodaway starting lineups. DeVault, Davis, Coons, Scheich, and Bond. And the Wildcats will counter with Emler, Wittenbaugh, Tucker, Sabres, and Chestnut. We are moments away from the tip. I've never seen at the tournament where the cheerleaders signed the national anthem, Andy, right in front of us.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I've never seen that. It's just an incredible extra level to the experience here at the tournament that you get from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. And we are going to see a pretty good basketball game here, Andy. Do you have enough water to get you through?
I've got water. I had my cup of coffee. I've got hand sanitizer. I've got quite the setup here this morning. One of the benefits of the social distancing right now is you won't be encroaching on my territory. I've got an entire table to myself.
We've shared tables for years, but now you don't have to worry about me and my 27 things. I've actually condensed. That's what's helped me, too. Condensed to one. Wittenbaugh in white. The Wolverines will counter with Corinne Bond at center.
Look for a tip play for the Wolverines to try to put one on the board quickly here.
Wolverines in black, Wildcats in white, and the Wolverines take the opening tip. Mary Coons. 3 seniors and 2 underclassmen, and the 2 underclassmen are the highest scores, including Maddox DeVault right there. Goes to work for the early 2.
Not enough time, really, for Maquoketa Valley to get set up in their defense. A couple quick swings from Nodaway Valley. And before you know it, DeVault finds her way, does a nice job controlling her body to get it up and off the glass. There you see the finish. And a chance to start with a 3-point play.
Well, and here's the thing. The foul was on Ella Emler, and that could be huge as this goes down, as DeVault misses it. Tipped around, loose ball. Wolverines lose it, but the Wildcats grab it. That was Taya Tucker, who had a huge quarterfinal to keep her team in it when they were trailing. Sabres, backdoor. Wittenbaugh on the left block. Turn? No. DeVault, the rebound.
A play that you don't see a lot of in girls basketball, almost an alley-oop type look to try to get it down to Wittenbaugh.
Flashing up high in the zone. DeVault. Two nothing early, Nodaway Valley. Tucker breaks up the pass, trying to go into the paint. Minute gone by. This will be the Wildcats' second offensive possession. Sabres mishandles for a moment, gets it back. Tucker over to Emler.
Look at all the defensive attention Wittenbaugh is getting down low.
About a 30-second possession here for the Wildcats. Tucker stripped. DeVault, the beneficiary of that loose ball, up ahead in transition, catching, shooting, missing is Scheich.
Lindsay Davis kind of playing that rover spot for Nodaway Valley right now, just hanging out in the lane. You saw there as she came to help, just able to take the ball right away.
Tucker on the left elbow. Cut, backdoor, shot blocked of Chestnut. Chestnut did not shoot the ball a lot in that first game, but she was not afraid to take the early one. Driveway shot from DeVault from the left side, no good. That's her favorite spot to shoot the left wing. And when you miss from your favorite spot, Andy, all of a sudden you have to flush it, otherwise it'll eat at you.
She has no problem telling people that either. Like, do you practice that a whole lot? No, not really. It's just my favorite shot.
Emler loses it for a moment.
This is where Maquoketa Valley will really have to be able to execute.
And they do with the three-point basket. Carissa Sabres, 3-2 Wildcats. And some pressure. Catching, shooting, and scoring is Lindsay Davis, the freshman.
That quick little bounce pass to the half court created a 2-on-1 fast break. Davis, not always the shot back in our day that you'd want to get on a fast break, but she capitalizes there.
Wittenbaugh drives and kicks again. Sabres for 3. Carissa Sabres with 6. It is now 6-5, Maquoketa Valley.
Well, and then a fast break opportunity, really a run out, not a run out look, but a 2-on-1 they created on one side for Maquoketa Valley. 2 shooters. Bond didn't know who to cover.
Davis drives, kicks to DeVault, lines it up, shoots it up, scores it up.
So it took a couple minutes, but now both these teams feeling as we had a little bit slower pace to start, but we knew this would be a fast-paced game up and down today. Neither team afraid of shooting the three.
Imler collects it. Now Wittenbaugh, top of the key. Tucker now inside. Wittenbaugh, head fake, no. She was anticipating contact, never got it. Davis up ahead, gives it right to Imler. Problem is, they're on two different teams.
Yeah, that's one of those situations how Maquoketa Valley goes to slow it down, but not every ball needs to be saved. Fortunately, it didn't lead to a 5-on-4 coming back the other way.
Wittenbaugh opens up, goes back door. Tucker, the give and go.
Tucker started at the top of the key. Looked like she was just on her normal motion through the lane and then absolutely accelerated right at the end, and a good look offensively.
DeVault goes off of Maquoketa Valley and out of bounds. And the first substitution is Kennedy Roush. She replaces Kylie Chestnut. And a reminder today, all substitutions are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com.
Against the 1-3-1 that Maquoketa Valley is running, Corinne Bond catches it right there about 10 to 12 feet away. That's a great spot. No one comes up to guard her. Easy shot for her.
3.5 to play. Nodaway Valley by 2. Imler way out. Shoots it. Short. Rebound. And put back for Wittenbaugh and her first 2 points of the game.
Wittenbaugh seemed to hang in the air forever.
It does seem that way. DeVault, great move, but before she's fouled. So not only can DeVault shoot, Andy, she's not too bad at driving to the basket
Well,
either.
you notice they get things moving so quick, and they come back down here, and before you know it, it's 2-on-2. You're playing a 2-on-2 game, and that's backyard basketball back in the day.
Wolverines get it in. Bond. Now Scheich. Now Davis. DeVault, left side, wing. Won't go. 2 of 3 of the girls going for the rebound are wearing white jerseys, and holding her knees in place is Tucker. Good pressure from Nodaway Valley, but Wittenbaugh breaks it. She drives, she lays it up, and will they count the basket? They do. Wittenbaugh was not to be denied.
It all started back here on the left end of the court, as you see a lot of contact there, and no doubt that Duvall was set, but there's just not solid enough contact there, as Wittenbaugh is able to get her body off the side. But it started down here. Nodaway Valley in the loose ball situation, they try to set up and get a trap, and they've got everybody down here in the full court press, and as soon as that trap comes, Mac Valley gets it out, and they go, and they have a 3-on-1.
You think Wittenbaugh was excited? Did you see that?
I saw it, yes.
Oh, the vein coming out of her neck in that replay. Great job. DeVault, who was charged with that foul. Davis travels.
Still kind of a feeling out process by these two teams right now. Nothing too shocking by how they're defending, but they're just not long enough toe.
Imler with it across midcourt. 13-10, Maquoketa Valley. The lead and the ball. Tucker drives, and she'll shoot 2. Couldn't quite get that runner to fall.
So the defensive style that Nodaway Valley plays with is quite interesting, because they run this zone concept in the full court, but then they drop back into a man-to-man concept. And today it's a little bit different style of man-to-man, as they're giving a lot of attention to Wittenbaugh down there, but it's tough because as soon as they break that press, you've got to get back there and find your gal who you're defending.
Maquoketa Valley looks in this quarter like they did in the third quarter against Rock Valley. They seem to be a team a little more focused and dialed in this morning. Not to say the Wolverines aren't. They're both pretty well focused. DeVault. Drive. Imler the beneficiary of what Tucker created.
Just watching Wittenbaugh run the court, runs it very well. Saw that before, too, with that three-point play that she got.
Wittenbaugh not going to guard her. She'll shoot the 15-footer and hit it.
It's an off-rhythm shot. As a defensive coach, it's not one you mind giving up, especially from 18 feet away. but Wittenbaugh shows that she has no problem knocking that down.
Ooh, Davis thought about it. And DeVault taps it right into Wittenbaugh.
Again, by saving it in, you don't give yourself a chance to set up your press that you could set up before. If that ball just goes out of bounds, you can set everything up. And so far, Maquoketa Valley done an excellent job handling the pressure from Nodaway. Can I call Maquoketa Nodaway today? Do I have to add Valley at the end of each one?
Well, you might be able to get away with Nodaway Valley, but the problem is Maquoketa and Maquoketa Valley are not that terribly far apart.
Yes, good point.
Mac Valley was always what we called it.
Of course, you and I both grew up
close to those.
in that area.
In that area. We used to play Maquoketa Valley. Always one of our good rivals. Tucker from the left elbow. Wittenbaugh crashes, kicks it back out. Emler steps behind the three, but good collapsing defense by Coons to prevent the easy look.
And Emler wanted to shoot that. You notice she looked down at her feet, wanted to make sure that she was not inside the three-point line, not take that low percentage shot.
I know you had plans last night, not always watching the Hawkeyes, but if you saw the Hawkeyes shoot last night, it was incredible. They didn't matter where their feet were. Every shot was a high percentage shot against Nebraska.
They've certainly got things rolling right now at the right time. And I've always been a Coach Hoiberg fan.
There wasn't
sometimes
much
you just run into a buzzsaw.
There wasn't much he could do last night, but just look and go, I used to shoot that good. Emler with 10 seconds. They're going to have to start going, and all of that hassle, and it's just flat out stolen away. Lindsey Davis, 5 seconds, will lay it up at the horn. And Maquoketa Valley on a swing. They'll go up 4, but it could have been more. 1 quarter in the books.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
At Central College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Maquoketa Valley 16, Nodaway Valley 12. We played 1 quarter of play, and right before the break, Andy, Maquoketa Valley was holding for 1, and then I think you used a football term to describe what Nodaway Valley did.
Go figure. I'm going to use a football term at some point. Well, Macy Coons starts to be very disruptive at the top of the key, and then Davis recognizes it like a blitzing linebacker and just darts for the loose ball and finds herself the only person on that half of the court to get the layup.
3 from Roush. No. Roush had a couple of threes the other day that got Mac Valley going. That one she couldn't talk it down. She's got to guard DeVault, who gets around her and lays it in.
DeVault very smooth with that right hand, and we're going to hear more about her because averaging just under 24 points a game as a junior. As you mentioned, this is a top 5 team easily going into next year.
One of the top scorers in 2A, and she is the tournament 2A leading scorer. DeVault is. 3-point is pushed long from Roush. Getting by everybody and making it look almost too easy, Lindsey Davis.
Well, you just can't take a breath, right? Against Nodaway Valley, the long across-the-court pass. They love to do that, love to make that defense shift, and I thought for a second Davis wasn't going to get there.
Wittenbaugh, great transition, Jay.
Wittenbaugh with 9 points early on in this one now, and just a smooth outside jump shot.
Coons Now baseline. They flash up in the paint, and then it just collapses out, and then they deny. DeVault gets the shot off. Davis chases it down. Turnaround shot by Scheich.
Against that 1-3-1, if you can get the ball right there where Scheich had it, you've got all sorts of options, and definitely an effort so far by NV to get the ball there. NV and MV. I'll just call them Nodaway Valley.
Yeah, they're not even close and sounding alike either. Yeah, you're right. Wittenbaugh drives and scores. Wittenbaugh now with 11. She's going to go play at Loras. She is playing like a very good college basketball player right now.
Yeah, just able to handle the ball, a great shot from the outside, really the complete package.
The intensity right now, Andy, has lived up to the hype of this ballgame. I think both have really come to play. I mean, we already had a couple of ties. Right now, Maquoketa Valley leads 20-18 as Chestnut comes back in on the IMT Insurance substitution. Visit IMT at imtins.com.
Well, and we've seen a couple different scenarios where people have brought up bringing back the shot clock again. This game will not have that happen.
You wouldn't need it. It'd be a waste of the electricity with these two. Loose ball, Tucker right there, gets it to Wittenbaugh.
Tucker, great job. That's what you have to do against this offense. Look for that baseline pass. She drops down away from her position, takes away the lane.
Wittenbaugh way out. She takes a couple steps in. I think she'd launch it. Tucker waits for a cut. Wittenbaugh just not able to get open at the moment.
She wants it.
She does. Oh, falling is Tucker. And it's going to be Lexi Scheich is whistled. That is the third team foul on Nodaway Valley.
Yeah, no real issues at all on fouls for either team.
In the corner, Roush. And ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay Maquoketa Valley basketball. Who's
Quick
there
hands.
but playing good defense? DeVault.
Yeah, it's quick hands for Nodaway Valley. It's not just DeVault. We've seen out of several of them, just constantly pestering.
Now back. Emler for three. No. Emler's not had a lot of good looks at the basket yet. She's now 0 for 2 from the field. That won't stay that way forever. DeVault trying to make a difference, and she's going to get a chance at some free throws as Chestnut stepped up and blocked her path to the basket.
Well, it all starts off again with quick ball movement. They've got Nelson cutting down the lane. She doesn't like her shot, kicks it back out. They swing it all the way back around to DeVault, who basically creates a one-on-one matchup for her, and she's so good at getting to the basket.
DeVault misses. Normally a 73% free throw shooter.
What is that sound we just heard come from the Maquoketa Valley student section? It's not a normal yell. It's like they're all yelling through kazoos. I'm not sure I've heard anything like that before. They do have kazoos, don't they?
Maybe. Gosh, I didn't recognize that.
It was like a bunch of bees came flying into the arena. Those vuvuzelas from back in the day from World Cup soccer is what it sounds like.
And Andy wins the prize for dropping the most obscure word of the day.
Well, if you've got that on your score sheet, check it off.
Andy Paul Bingo?
Yes.
Let's see. We haven't mentioned our hometowns, but we've talked about them. So that would be one square. Stolen away by Davis. And I got to tell you, Davis has played an outstanding defensive game. DeVault is fouled again on her way to the basket.
Well, and it is really good defense down there. That's about as good as you can do down at the other end, I believe. Yes, it was on Roush. As DeVault goes to her Euro step, Roush slides to get in front of her, doesn't allow her the easy path to get around, but just a little bit behind, and that's where she got whistled for the foul.
Take a look again on the replay, and yeah, Roush kind of caught even on the crossover there, right on that Euro move. Yep. DeVault gets another one. And hits. She now has 10.
So Nodaway Valley takes their first lead since very early on in this one.
Roush. Emler and Davis clear because those two are joined at the hip. I think that defensive strategy, Davis, they just showed a picture of Emler and say follow her wherever she goes. And so there they were at breakfast. Davis is already on Emler this morning.
I would look for Roush to get a couple more open looks. She was not able to hit hers early on, but she's one of the top shooters on this Wildcat team. Just has to keep shooting with the percentages.
And we're going to have a foul on Nodaway Valley in the paint on a hold, I think.
They got Shike as they were all just surrounding Wittenbaugh, Wittenbaugh everywhere she went.
And that's Shike's second, only foul issue. Emler. Back on the left wing with it. Tucker. Tucker, Emler, Wittenbaugh, quite the trio.
We mentioned sometimes you can take out a top scorer, sometimes even two, but it's so difficult to take away three shooters.
Emler misses on the three. Good board. Corinne Bond. DeVault, guarded by Roush, now inside. Shike is tied up for a jump ball.
Tucker able to slide in once again. Maquoketa Valley's done a little bit better job the last few possessions of getting back and identifying where everybody is for Nodaway Valley.
The alternate possession arrow favors Nodaway Valley, so the Wolverines will get another chance to extend their lead here. Davis, three, no. Tucker, the weak side board. And so there you go, Andy. Now it's going to be the opposite effect. I mean, Nodaway Valley was pressing. They had two trapped on Tucker. Now they're going to be able to set it up on the whistle.
Yeah, and you see it's a 1-1-1-2 look. It's more of a man concept right now as they get out here. This is more of a slow down the tempo for Maquoketa Valley.
Emler drives and is fouled. So Emler now taking the page out of the DeVault book saying, fine, if my outside shot's not going, I'm going to take the higher percentage shot from 2 feet.
Well, and they're using better spacing, too, because as she drives into the hole, there's just no one there left to help. And you have to come from a long way away, and that's why Emler able to find herself at the free throw line.
The Wolverines are approaching, as you said, a 5-on-4 concept. Really, anytime Chestnut gets the basketball, there's really not anybody on her. They're collapsing in there. So here's your opportunity. If you're the unguarded one, step up, take that shot, keep that defense honest, and it might create opportunities later as Emler hits a pair to give Maquoketa Valley the lead back.
Well, there's been a couple times she's had a good look on the baseline, but no one's got the ball to her. I mean, they know who their shooters are, and a very clear identified roles here for Coach Monk.
Tucker the foul. So now the next foul against Maquoketa Valley will be free throws. The left-hand shot no good for Shike. Rebound and almost scoring is Bond, and then a whistle, and it goes off of Nodaway Valley.
Lexi Shike, especially in that first round game, has been one that really makes Nodaway Valley go. Not always the stuff that shows up in the stat book, but seems to always be around the basketball.
Look out, Chuck. That basketball's coming right for you. Sorry, Justin. Maybe next time.
Souvenirs.
They just don't let you keep the basketball like they do in the other sports. It's amazing.
The other sports, you mean baseball?
Yeah. Now, there are multi-sport athletes here for both of these squads. Some good softball players, volleyball players. I mean, just when you get to that 2A level, Andy, everybody, it seems, is a four-sport athlete.
Cross-country as well, a couple cross-country runners. Of course, that's what Nodaway Valley's, that's really been their sport.
Chestnut does exactly what we talked about. Step up, take the shot, hits it.
He did that with a lot of confidence. That's already over what she averages per game.
And Emler forces a turnover. And Emler brings it up at 1:51. 24 for Maquoketa Valley, 21 for Nodaway Valley. Tucker.
Nodaway Valley has gone a long time without a field goal. We got a couple free throws, but the last field goal was over 4 minutes ago.
Emler wide open. Long rebound. Davis tips it to Shike. Oh, you left DeVault wide open. She makes you pay.
That zone defense, the 1-3-1, that ball at the top of the key, just a quick glance to her right leaves her DeVault wide open over here on the left side for her favorite spot on the court.
Now a minute to play before half. Tied at 24. Wittenbaugh out front. Wildcats contend for one, but this didn't end well the last time they tried this. Tucker. Oh, Wittenbaugh. She had a seam for a moment, but great collapse there by Bond.
Here's a good matchup if they want to get to Wittenbaugh up at the top of the key. Keep everybody spread out right here. I think this is where they want it.
But Nodaway Valley keeps forcing the basketball closer and closer to half court, Andy. Imler pulls up her dribble. She's quickly collapsed upon. Three is pushed up. We're going to have a whistle underneath. The shot from Roush forced a little scrum on the rebound.
That's a tough call to make because DeVault is there boxing out Chestnut.
Oh.
And Chestnut goes up in the air. So DeVault, just boxing out and ends up undercutting her. It is the right call. It's just a tough call.
12 seconds, now 10. Inside, stolen away into Tucker. A held ball. Reaching in is Scheich. She jumped that pass like a linebacker stepping in front of it.
I'm not so sure she didn't get fouled. I thought Tucker reached out and grabbed her. That's what knocked her to the ground.
Sabres comes in. Chestnut goes out. On an IMTINS.com insurance. Substitution, 6.6. Finally getting it in. Wittenbaugh collects, left shot. Good! And the extra time it took to roll might force not a good shot. That thing hung up there, it seemed like 8 seconds, but it wasn't.
It had the English on it, spun around the rim a couple times, and eventually fell. Nodaway Valley had the initial play taken care of, but then as Wittenbaugh made a quick little cut, that entry pass in, and she was wide open off the secondary part of the look.
So Nodaway Valley wins the quarter 12-10, but Maquoketa Valley still holds a 2-point advantage through a great first half. We will step away for a moment, take a quick analysis of the first half stats, and then talk with our title sponsor. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community, like family,
like home. SWIC is a place for you.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Maddox DeVault averages 24 points a game. She's more than halfway there. She has 13 first-half points for Nodaway Valley, which trails by 2. Andy Pollock, Paul Yeager here with you. Mac Valley, Emerson Wittenbaugh had a great start to the game. Early in the second quarter, though, it appeared that Nodaway Valley, Andy, made a little bit of an adjustment to kind of keep her a little more in check.
They did, and you noticed then that Kylie Chestnut stepped up and hit a shot, and that may force Nodaway Valley to adjust their defensive strategy just a little bit. Don't know if it was a one-time thing or if she will continue to shoot, but very obvious here early on that they're content, that Nodaway Valley is content to play 5-on-4 on the defensive end, and they haven't done a great job so far of taking away Wittenbaugh, but she is one of the more talented players that we've seen in this tournament.
All right, we'll take a break for a moment here as we hear from our title sponsor. When we come back on the other side of that, we will give you a full rundown of what's happening in this contest and look ahead for the rest of the day here from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament on the digital network powered by Mid-American Energy. But now let's go to Tom Florian.
And we'd like to welcome you into the halftime show. I'm Tom Florian with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of action here at today's game. The Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here now in its 102nd edition in Des Moines, a great event for the state of Iowa. And we here at the Girls Union are so thankful for those who support us in putting on this fantastic event, none of which are more important and great as Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Joining me now here at halftime is President of Iowa Farm Bureau, Craig Hill. Craig, good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. We want to tell the viewers about Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide to the Iowa Girls Union. My first question to you would be, why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest and support the Iowa Girls Athletic Union?
Oh, well, Tom, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union now for 16 years. And we're thrilled, once again, to be a part of what we consider to be the best girls' state tournament in the country. And it does showcase Iowa's elite teams, our elite players, and I would suggest our elite fans as well. But we recognize the pandemic. It has certainly made the trip to qualify for this tournament just a little bit more challenging. And, I would suggest that it's also a testament to the ability of our student athletes to adapt and to persist through these tough times. So we're just so proud of these student athletes.
And you mentioned the student athletes and how they've grown and persevered through this challenging year. Talk about why Iowa Farm Bureau is so invested in supporting Iowa's youth.
Oh, well, Tom, I'm a farmer, but I've always said that our kids here in Iowa are our most important crop. And that's why the Iowa Farm Bureau provides just over $250,000 in scholarships to students each and every year. More than $450,000 over the last 8 years for Iowa's teachers in terms of classroom supplies, as well as our sponsorship of 4-H and FFA and many other youth organizations, but of course the Governor's Scholar Program. And we recognize academic students academics and students in Iowa through that program.
And you mentioned recognizing and providing recognition and scholarship opportunities for youth in Iowa. But these student athletes here on the court today, they're actually taking home some other types of souvenirs, if you will, from the state tournament. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, each player will receive a signature ball, a basketball that coaches and players can sign. Everyone can keep as a keepsake and kind of a reminder of what the journey has been to get them here to the state tournament. So it's an opportunity for us to provide some good memories and keep that keepsake in front of them as they go on as being leaders in Iowa in our communities.
A cool keepsake, most definitely. Well, Craig, we are out of time here at halftime, but I want to thank you again for your support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and everything that you do. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tom.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Maybe that's why scientists are trying to recreate real meat. Trying to duplicate the taste and texture, often using more than 20 ingredients. But why tamper with what Mother Nature already perfected? A more complete, high-quality protein, Iowa Raised Meat is the original health food, with 9 essential amino acids necessary for the human diet. Nutrients that are hard to get from plant-based proteins. Best of all, the real meat on your dinner table tonight was sustainably raised with love by Iowa farm families. As much as people may try, there's just no substitute for the taste, texture, and nutrition of nature's perfect protein. But hey, keep at it. It's flattering that so many products want to be us.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything
Dental insurance costs a fortune, and it covers nothing.
don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines, the S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bring it in home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Hey, big thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau for their support of the state basketball tournament this week, as Tom Florian had that conversation with Craig Hill. So thank you for all you do there. And also, the official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now, or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Andy, I'm guessing if you've been watching a lot of games at home, you've memorized everything we say at halftime here.
Yeah.
Did you get first half stats?
I do, yes.
Okay.
I've got the stats right here in front of me. So I think they walked by. I think you were...
I was gone, and I didn't get one. That's
direction.
all right. Go ahead.
So, yeah, just looking at a couple of them. First of all, for the visitors, Nodaway Valley on the scoreboard, Maddox DeVault leads all scores for them with 13. Lindsey Davis, the freshman, has 7. Scheich and Bond have 2 apiece as well for them. Couple players, DeVault and Scheich, each have 2 personal fouls, so that'll be something we keep a little bit closer of an eye on in the second half for the Wolverines. For the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats, it's the Emerson Wittenbaugh show, and she was held a little bit in check in that first game on Tuesday when they played, but she's got 13 right now at halftime to go along with 3 assists as well. Carissa Sabers has 6, Chestnut Imler have 2, Taya Tucker has 3. So, again, Carissa Sabers has 2 personal fouls, no one else with more than 1 for the Wildcats. So, a couple things that stand out. Both teams shooting quite well. In fact, for the game, Nodaway Valley shooting 56%, and Maquoketa Valley shooting 48%. So, the team's shooting very well, and a very cleanly played game so far, too, for the style of play that each of these teams play. Only 7 turnovers for Nodaway Valley and 3 for Maquoketa Valley against that pressure of the Wolverines.
One thing Coach Eisbach talks about is we like to limit turnovers. You're losing the turnover battle, but you're in single digits, so you got to think that that's okay.
Well, and we've seen some pretty hefty turnover numbers put up by teams here at the state tournament just as they get used to the defensive styles that some other teams play.
Coach Eisbach says, hey, we got to play like dudes. He goes, no disrespect to the way women play, but he says, we got to play. And what he means by that is the defense. And if you watch Lindsay Davis, who has the basketball now, or say really it is Macy Coons, who has just played incredible defense right here on Imler. She has almost locked eyes and does not move her head that entire time when she's trying to keep Imler in check. It's just an amazing thing. Imler, as there they set the screen, Coons just had no chance to get out there on Imler.
Yeah, and the problem is where that screen set, if she tries to go around it to defend the three, then she's stuck with penetration, and that can kill you as well.
Well, let's just take a chance that maybe she'll miss the shot. Bond gets through, splits the defenders, and puts it up for 2.
Well, and sneaking in from the other side, Kylie Chestnut was right there. A lot of contact, but nothing called.
Couple of passes get through the press. Wittenbaugh at the 3-point line. Chestnut all by herself, top of the key free throw, no good. Wittenbaugh the board. Puts it back up, gets it to roll through, now with 15.
Just a nice soft touch. Look out.
Tucker was out of bounds when she touched the ball, clearly. It's our officiating crew right here on that call today. Chad Schellemeyer, Christopher Thomas, and Joel Crayenbrink.
You mentioned
veteran crew.
Yeah,
here.
Very much so. We've seen these guys not just down here, but all over the state. You mentioned about how Coach Eisbach wants his girls to play more like dudes. He's a guy, though. I asked him last week when I found out I'd have their games. It's like, I haven't seen. I've looked around. Where have you coached? Where did you cut your teeth? He's like, well, I haven't. So, well, how did this get started? He was on the scout team for the women's basketball team at Iowa State and learned a lot from Coach Fennelly. Stays in close contact with Coach up there at Iowa State and learns a lot. I know he likes to take his kids up there, and those two have stayed in close contact. So, kind of neat story there for Coach Brian Eisbach for Nodaway Valley.
Well, and you and I had different conversations with them, and we both could have talked to him forever. I mean, very easy to speak with both of these guys, Scott Monk as well. But I asked Eisbach, I go, which coach's voice is in your head? And he goes, well, I've had some that I don't want in my head, and he wouldn't name names, but he says Fennelly is probably the one I hear the most. That's a pretty good one to hear in your head.
No doubt. The guy is, what he's done for Iowa State women's basketball is quite remarkable.
Chestnut all alone. Tucker. Now here's Maquoketa Valley just moving the basketball around. Are the Wolverines really moving it around, or the Wildcats, or are we just passing it here? Not a lot of movement.
Yeah, they're not. I'd call it false motion. They're not really trying to accomplish much with it until they're
kind of lulling you into it, and Tucker catches it, takes a step, puts it in the bucket. Oh, and a travel by Coons. She put her pivot foot down and then just drug it ever so bit much.
And she was trying to get the ball. She wanted to do that long baseball-style bounce pass to DeVault, who was down on the baseline. Right as she went to do it, DeVault had turned to make a cut the opposite direction and just traveled instead of throwing it out of bounds.
Coach Eisbach, a timeout here, 33-26, and here's a look at that give and go. They just found a mismatch as Tucker got behind Scheich and put it in. You know, I was thinking at the halftime break before we were back on, Andy, you know, both of these teams extremely good. Both would be good championship-level teams. Maquoketa Valley kind of been on a run. And Nodaway Valley is the rookie. They had not played at the state tournament in girls basketball. And they did something that so many teams cannot do, and that's win their first game at state.
You come down here, there's nerves there's nerves anyway, whether you've been here or not, but you come down here, the different backdrop, the longer court than a lot of high schools that you'll play on. So Nodaway Valley, as I looked at them, Bridgewater, Fontenelle did make the state tournament back in the day, and that's one of the three towns that make up Nodaway Valley along with Greenfield, and then Fontenelle actually back in 1958 as well. So it's been a while.
Right, not even parents alive in that age, but grandparents for sure. DeVault is run into, ball is held as Tucker came in on DeVault, and some of the fans behind us from Greenfield, Bridgewater, and Fontenelle thinking maybe there was some contact there. But don't most fans who wear the same colors as their team think that they always get the short end?
There's always contact, right? There's always something. we get a great view of it down here, a great within earshot of a lot of stuff down here that normally we don't hear.
Emler and Wittenbaugh kind of screen each other. Ooh, Wittenbaugh almost threw that away for a moment because Emler gave the head fake like she was going. They get fined behind Wittenbaugh. Same move that Tucker did. This time Tucker the assist.
What a great look, though, from up top from Tucker. And that entry pass, the little drop step around to the court, not to the boundary.
Lindsay Davis, good-looking shot. DeVault has it knocked out of her hands, out of bounds.
I just continue to watch Emerson Wittenbaugh and what she can do and all the different aspects that she brings to the game. The Dewhawks are getting a great one up there in Dubuque.
I think Wittenbaugh, this is the Wittenbaugh that most Wildcat fans have seen all year. That was not the Emerson Wittenbaugh from the first game. Completely different player. And loose ball is going to go the length of the court, and I think the only way. Well, now they're going to have a debate because I thought this was going to be clear as day that it was Nodaway's or Maquoketa Valley's basketball.
It was Nodaway Valley that touched the ball right down. They're just discussing where they're putting the ball. They're discussing where the last touch was. That's why they pointed this way. There's no doubt about whose ball it was.
Right, but it was a matter of where because I don't think that it was touched before it went out of bounds there. I think
Correct.
They were too late.
Yep, last touch here underneath the basket, which is a little bit of advantage to Nodaway Valley then to set up their press.
No one touched it.
No one touched it is what some of the things we hear from the court. Oh, there's Tucker, the left, and she's fouled. So, okay, Andy, I was going to ask you, we don't have the benefit to control our own replay, but we can talk about what's been happening. How is it that Maquoketa Valley they found something in that defense? They've done it 3 times now in a row where there appears to be 2 players, but somehow it's either a head fake, a ball fake, and it gets them open, which would seemingly be extremely tough there in the middle. Let's take a look. This one, just a layup, but somehow Maquoketa Valley is finding a little bit of that seam in the middle.
Well, what they're doing is as they pass the ball around the perimeter, they're buying themselves angles to get that entry pass, and that is as you continue to make the defensive Nodaway Valley shift and move around in that very much sagging man-to-man they play.
Oh, nice layup, underneath shot, Corinne Bond.
And it starts with handling the pressure the way they have. I mean, they have been so cautious with the basketball, but they buy themselves that entry pass angle, and it's worked out very well.
The lead had gotten to 10, now back down to 8. Maquoketa Valley 36, Nodaway 28, 3:30 to play, third quarter. Winner of this goes to the championship game Saturday afternoon in Class 2A. They'll face the winner of the other bracket game, which is going to take place soon between Dike New Hartford and West Branch. One of those teams has only lost 1 game. There's only, of the final 4 teams, only 1 team has a loss. Turnover on the travel by Tucker in the lane.
Well, and as you notice, they got the entry pass. They got the ball to Tucker down low where she wanted it. It's one of those, if she kicks it out right away, they've got some great looks because a lot of collapsing.
Interior pass attempt knocked away by Tucker. Coons with it, now into the corner. Lindsay Davis has been a little quiet, so has DeVault. And there we see bodies go down to the floor, no foul. And the Wildcats come out with it. Emler to Wittenbaugh. She doesn't have a dribble. You better help her out soon. That's going to be a 5 call. Emler.
Neither of these teams goes very deep, so it's tough for Nodaway Valley to maintain that defensive intensity that they've got all game. They've only played 6 players.
And the ball is going to roll out of bounds, and it's going to be last off Maquoketa Valley. One thing that Coach Eisbach said repeatedly was the conditioning. We think we are in better shape. He says they condition, they practice in their masks. He said that the masks, they think, has actually helped their conditioning. It's added another layer of the getting fit. They don't want to get tired. Tired teams lose. Not every team wears the mask at conditioning, but they do. Nice drive by Davis. She's fouled by Sabres.
Well, and that's what Nodaway Valley is going to have to do. The passing the ball around the perimeter is they haven't got very good looks against the Wildcats really since the first quarter. And they've started to as they penetrate a little bit more, they've got a much better opportunity to score that way.
Lindsay Davis, the first free throw is good, the freshman. Hits the shot. And Amy Sivage is the assistant coach that handles their conditioning. Amy played 6-on-6 player basketball at Corning. Good player down there in Southwest Iowa. But here's the other part, Andy, that gets our attention. She runs a food truck.
I was kind of hoping for a sample here.
Either her or Joe Chapman, I think, could both bring food trucks in. The head coach at Trainer, they both operate them. Coach Icebox says that the food truck for his group has a great pulled pork. Back out, Imler. 15-foot in transition. No. Short end of the iron. Annika Nelson into the game. Davis thought about it, drives, and on the layup, she loses the handle because it was swatted away by Chestnut.
Looked like she was going to have a clear path to the basket, but Chestnut with those long arms able to stick it in there and knock it out.
Interior pass in the and one. Nelson with a great cut.
It starts with the out-of-bounds play. And the way everything's set up, you see the old picket fence set up really at the free throw line. And it started off a lot of attention to Duvall as she backs up, and then you see the moves off the screen. Nelson, nice job going to the left hand in the finish.
Chestnut boxes out to grab the board. Lead still at 4. It was at 10 just a couple of minutes ago.
Tucker wants the ball down low. She is working hard to get open.
As the Wildcats have gone almost 3 minutes without a field goal. Backdoor cut to Emler, and that streak is over.
Well, just a great look is, again, a lot of help coming from the Nodaway Valley defense. So as they get it to Tucker just inside the free throw line, that little back cut just gets her wide open.
Coons wide open three. No. Rebound comes to Tucker.
By another hold for one situation if they can. You see a lot of pressure defense from Nodaway Valley.
I think you just do what you did earlier. 5 out. Wittenbaugh. Oh, nice knock away by Nelson. Davis gets past Chestnut, puts it up. She'll get 2.
Couple freshmen working together for Nodaway Valley. Again, one of the reasons that we think, along with DeVault, that they're a team that will be reckoned with and mentioned in the top couple teams in the state for next year, but they were trying to get some damage done right now.
Lindsay Davis, in my opinion, has the best birth date. July 1st. But then the years are a little different between the two of us.
Maybe you got a few years on her?
Davis hits the second one because you and I both have freshmen, Andy, and so it's like that's what's so weird about after the years that we've covered this tournament, no one's been old enough to be our kids. Well, here we are.
now we sit here and watch.
Oh, yeah, I remember that day. We weren't sleeping then. 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. 38-33. Emler to the rescue. 7 seconds. Emler guarded by DeVault. 4 seconds. 3 drives, puts it up. No call. Tipped. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay Maquoketa Valley with 1.1. Scott Monk is asking, now come on, how come there wasn't? But the official clearly down there put his fingers together on the tip.
Well, it got knocked away from her at the top of the key on the spin move, which led to a catch and shoot situation. Maybe time for one dribble.
Tucker at the buzzer. Good if it goes. It won't.
They called a foul.
They called a foul.
They called a foul. Yep, she's going to have 2 shots.
Wow, so Tucker is going to get a chance.
They dinged Lindsay Davis for the foul there.
And that'll be her second. So now Tucker will shoot all alone with no time on the clock. Missed the first. Let's watch it again. One dribble goes up. Yeah, you could maybe say there was some contact on the body there. Second one is good, and that's how the third quarter ends. Maquoketa Valley with a 39-33 lead. Back in a moment.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. the sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
It guides me home. I got it. You're my
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. And if you look in the Wildcats lineup, there is one senior listed, Anna Nefsker. And Anna always gets put in the scorebook, number 22, but she died between her 7th grade year and 8th grade year, but it is something that Ella Emler, Emerson Wittenbaugh, and Taya Tucker have not forgotten. They all would have been seniors on this team. In fact, Emler and Wittenbaugh, as the layup is good by Scheich to start the fourth quarter. They have tattoos also to remember their friend, and it's been a learning life lesson for these girls.
And what a great story, the way they continue to have tributes to her. In fact, named the homecoming queen this year at Maquoketa Valley High School as well, so keeping the memory of Anna Nefsker very strong.
And the homecoming king this year was a student that was killed on the 4th of July. So this class, heavy hearts and emotional time to say the least. All right. Maquoketa Valley has a 4-point lead as Nodaway Valley scored the opening bucket out of the break. Roush now into Tucker, again behind that defense.
Well, again, it started with a pass up top because everybody knows where Wittenbaugh is, so they swing it up top. Over on the right side to Roush, and then the entry pass down low. It just buys her a great angle.
Are we going to see anybody but DeVault and Davis try to take shots? Loose ball, Tucker again in the middle of it all.
Well, they were able to get DeVault freed up earlier, but just really nothing at all in the third quarter for her. But Maquoketa Valley's done an excellent job controlling the tempo of this ball game.
Wittenbaugh's defender overcommits, but not able to make it pay. Davis comes out on Chestnut. 3 from Emler is off to the left. And Lexi Scheich, the rebound. Coaches will say first one to 40 wins the tournament. Davis. Now Bond will go to the line as she's fouled. So Maquoketa Valley gets there first, but this game, Andy, at 6:08 is far from over.
No question. There you see Chestnut slides her way down. I almost thought there might be an opportunity for a charge call, but just a little bit late as Bond, who has been quiet on the offensive end, has had a couple nice moves. We just haven't called her name a whole lot today, just with 6 points. Has done a nice job, though, with 6 rebounds.
Corinne Bond, hard to believe this one. She didn't start playing basketball until she was a 7th grader.
And she's really the only height that they've got on this Nodaway Valley team at 5'11". There's a lot of other, 5'8", 5'9" type players, but not that dominant type post player that we see from some teams. In fact, we'll see one here later on today from Algona Garrigan.
Wildcats, Wittenbaugh, now Emler. Step back, great collapsing there. Macy Coons has just been all over Emler.
They're not going to be in any rush right now. A 5-point lead without a shot clock can get you a long way towards stalling through the end of a game.
And it's going to be an over and back. And I need to make a correction. Not Bond that had started playing in 7th grade. It's Taryn Getler. It's just in the line below. That's who started. Bond is a four-sport athlete enrolled at Northwest Missouri State. But the thing is, she's hard to guard, and she's also a hit at the elementary school. She volunteers down there, turnover by Coons. And again, whether it's multi-sport or multi-activity, it's good to see the – remember how it is when the older kids came down to the elementary kids?
Oh, it was the greatest thing ever. In fact, I saw earlier today a video from Grandview Christian as the kids walked into school this morning and had both boys and girls players there welcoming all the elementary kids into school this morning. So at those levels, even, right now, more so at some of these places where there's multiple buildings, which is more and more common, not the – let's call it a one-room schoolhouses that you and I grew up in, but multiple building places right now. So it is a very big deal to get those high school kids down there with the elementary.
DeVault catches and shoots, and it goes long. Tucker on the weak side clears it.
And she had Wittenbaugh right there in her face with those long arms coming at her.
4:40 to play, 41-35, Maquoketa Valley. We're going to have a tied-up ball. And Wittenbaugh is frustrated with herself because she opened it up.
Macy Kuntz shadowed the basketball as it got passed to her, shadowed it, and put her hands on it immediately when it was caught.
Emler to inbound from the A of the word arena. Wittenbaugh. Every time she gets the pass, she gets two defenders. And that's going to be a foul on Bond on the shot.
And Bond knew she did it right away, gave herself the little mental right away, because there's a lot of ball, but just a little bit of extra body as well.
Wittenbaugh uses almost all the rim to score her first point of the fourth quarter. She now has 18. There's a look at Coach Sivage and Coach Eisbach kind of talking with one another. Wittenbaugh hits them both, 30-second timeout. Talking to Eisbach's like talking to you. Both bankers, both coaches, both have a lot of energy of things.
I was warned right away when it was time to call him that I would need to schedule a little bit more time than I normally would need to schedule when I talk to coaches. As you know, I can carry on a conversation with the best of them, and he matched me word for word.
Laura Leonard and I had a chance to talk to him Saturday afternoon, and if it wouldn't have been that practice was about to start and the gym got loud, I think we would have still kept going. He had been busy that morning. His daughter had played at an AAU game in Des Moines in the morning. So he had been over to Des Moines and then was back to Greenfield for practice.
Well, a family affair as it is with so many of those. You mentioned Coach Monk as well with his daughters and everything that he's done. And you had brought up something that I didn't know. He was the brainchild behind Rivalry Saturday?
He was over in Cedar Rapids. I think this was supposed to be the 17th installment, but COVID canceled one weekend or postponed it, and then the second one was because of ice. But that has been a series of teams where maybe coaches meet here or they want to get here and they say, all right, we're from West Hancock. Can we play somebody from Eastern Iowa that we just might not see? So that is what they're hoping to accomplish with those tournaments, as there is a foul.
Well, you brought up just a couple minutes ago, will anybody else besides DeVault or DeVault or Davis shoot the basketball? And as soon as they get the ball to Davis at the top of the key, she makes that move with her left hand.
Scheich hits the first. And the second. (43-37), Maquoketa Valley. 6 better than Nodaway Valley. Kennedy Roush, guarded by Lindsay Davis. And we're going to have a hold on Davis. Roush is a sophomore. Davis is a freshman. Those two might see each other again. We've talked about Nodaway Valley's future. I think they don't want to hear about the future. They're in it for the right now. Down 6. What do they have to do, Andy, to keep this season going?
Well, that's going to help.
DeVault steps in front, goes in for the layup. Back within 4.
Nodaway Valley fans back into it right behind us. Brings a lot of excitement when you hear it for the first time.
Tucker gets it back from Sabres. Back out into Wittenbaugh.
Good patience. You know, it's a good matchup for her down there, but recognizes that the clock's pretty important to them right now. No shot clock hurrying them up.
Emler, guarded by Coons, gets past her. Coming up for help is Davis. All right, so Andy, I felt in the quarterfinal game that Maquoketa Valley felt a little bit of, just seemed to be a little tight as the 1 seed, number 1 in 2A, top seed in the tournament. Rock Valley, nothing to lose. It didn't seem like either team was playing real tense. Do you think either team is playing tense right now?
Well, this will be when it happens, if so, but certainly not to start this game. And that's a big emphasis in sports, and when you get down here, is playing loose.
DeVault, as she hits it, it's huge, but the shot, they get another chance with Bond on the rebound. Davis goes in. No! Tucker with the big right hand, tips it to her left hand, and the Wildcats get it back.
Great opportunity there for Nodaway Valley, but the Wildcats come back out on top with a defensive stop.
Tucker. Emler. Got to come help, and then we're going to have a foul out front on Scheich.
Well, and I think it's not on purpose, but it's kind of on purpose right there because you have Tucker is well, I guess they're not quite shooting yet. The next one they will be shooting. And Tucker's a 59% free throw shooter.
Emler gets it into the backcourt. Approaching 2 minutes.
And she's not the one you'll want to foul.
Well, and Davis has 4. 2 for DeVault. 3 for Scheich and Bond. Oh, backdoor. Emler was wide open, but she was turned around. The body was not quite in that catching position, and it goes out of bounds. So now Nodaway Valley, Andy, can pull it within 1 with a 3.
Well, and they've got the shooters out there to do it. Another big defensive stop for Nodaway Valley. One of the very few turnovers on the day for Maquoketa Valley.
Bond, free throw line, short. Davis collects, and she's fouled.
Davis had a great angle down on the left baseline to see that shot was going to be a little bit short. Followed it all the way to the basket, gets a quick rebound. Not enough time to get it up and not enough time for reaction on the part of Maquoketa Valley. And Davis, a 61% free throw shooter.
Ooh. Missed the first.
Nodaway Valley at the line today has not been great. They're shooting just a shade over 50%.
Davis, 50% there. And some pressure. Wildcats get it in. Wittenbaugh on the right side. Now dribbles with the left. Over to, Roush is fouled. Thought maybe she was going to get rid of it before she was fouled, but Nodaway Valley back within 3.
Well, and Roush, this is interesting. I don't have the exact numbers, but she shows up right now as a 100% free throw shooter in the stat book. So I can't imagine she shot a ton to be that way. Otherwise, I think we would have heard more about it throughout the course of the year.
The free throw is good for Roush. Her first point. You don't think that was big? Ask her.
Well, and that with that stroke that she had, she may be a legit 100% free throw shooter.
Hits them both. (45-40), Maquoketa Valley by 5. 1:35 to go. Coons, Davis, good for Bond. Again within 3.
This is where it's important to know who your shooters are out on the field, out on the court, because you're going to have to foul here at some point.
Emler, she'd like to have it for a long time, but
Definitely.
Coons has been such a good defender on her. As we get to a minute. I think Coons is actually trying to foul now.
Well, it
and
gives
she
you,
does.
Yeah, your opportunity here, you're all right to foul. That's what you have to do now with right at just under a minute to go. But I like that she was aggressive at going after the basketball. We've seen so many ladies here at the state tournament where they just go out and they'll just grab for foul. But no, she went after the basketball, and maybe you get a cheap steal.
The 1-and-1 is missed, so the strategy works. Davis, the freshman. Back over to Coons.
No rush. You still have time to work for a good shot.
Only down 3. Coons drives, and she's going to get a chance to tie it with the free throw.
Macy Coons has not scored a point all day long. She's got 8 assists. Her job has been to dish the basketball out. You saw it on the last. She's been more aggressive at driving to the basket. This time she takes it all the way herself, able to get the finish and a chance to tie it up for Nodaway Valley.
So I had the foul given to Taya Tucker. That's her second. Kylie Chestnut with her 4 checks out. Coons at the line with a chance to tie it at 45, and she does. Third tie of the game. 45 seconds. We're tied at 45. Emler. Season on the line here. Timeout, Maquoketa Valley. You think you're feeling some momentum on either side? You think there's some tension? We'll cut through it in a moment.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
We somehow, Andy Pollack, have to pick the Casey's player of the game. And if you're Nodaway Valley, Maddox DeVault 15 points, Lexi Scheich with 5, Corinne Bond with 10. Macy Coons has had an incredible defensive game. Only 3 points, but they're the 3 points that tied you if you're Maquoketa Valley. Emler with 7, Wittenbaugh 19, Tucker 8. I don't know how you're going to pick.
I'm not sure, and honestly, for Nodaway Valley right now, I would have to go. I mean, Macy Kuntz with her 8 assists has been huge today. Like you mentioned, what she's done defensively as well. And for Maquoketa Valley, I mean, Wittenbaugh hasn't touched the ball a whole lot here late in the fourth quarter. I would expect this play in the last 35 seconds to run through her.
Wildcats with it. They have been prone to hold, and it hasn't always worked out. Let's see what they do. It's only going to be probably Tucker, Emler, or Wittenbaugh that touch the basketball from here on out. 20 seconds.
In Nodaway Valley, not allowing them to just pass the ball up here. They're extending their defense. It could be a little bit risky. We'll see if it pays off for them.
Wittenbaugh, now we're trapped all the way. Emler now to Roush. 7 seconds. And we have a hold on Scheich. You go all that way down to 6 seconds, and you have a chance at the 1-and-1. This is still not a 2 free throw set.
Well, look, she saw the ball in front of her, went in there to try to tie it up, and it would have given the ball back to Nodaway Valley.
Emler, 7 points on the game, and none bigger than that right there as she hits number 1. And Emler will have a chance for a second one to at least make it a field goal defense. She hits them both. 6 seconds, timeout, Nodaway Valley. They'll have to go the length of the court to tie it. And he calls a full, and so do we. 6 seconds remain. The winner plays on.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Who's more nervous right now, Andy? Maquoketa Valley fans, Nodaway Valley fans?
Or me. Well, as we sit here right now, you're in the driver's seat, right, if you're Maquoketa Valley. And we thought early Monday that 6 seconds may not be time. They've got to go, Nodaway Valley's got to go to the full length of the court, but we've seen it already once here at the state tournament.
The winner to play tomorrow afternoon in the championship game at 4 o'clock. Nodaway Valley,
full court
6
press.
seconds, and we're going to see full court pressure. Now, timeout, Maquoketa Valley. So, see what the offense was going to be, or you're trying to say, all right, we're just going to show you a full court. Now you have to go think about that if we're going to do it.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me, a little bit of gamesmanship on the part of both coaches, because as you come out there, each team does have timeouts left, so we might not have seen the end of it right now for timeouts remaining, but I really like what Coach Monk did. He got everything set up, quickly called it. You have a chance to see what the top formation is going to be for Nodaway Valley, and maybe toss a little extra out there and make them think that you're going to pressure the ball, and now, of course, they back off.
So now look for Maddox DeVault. You've sometimes seen the inbounder as the one who trails because you forget about her, but it looks like Scheich is going to inbound. DeVault is going to be up top. 6 seconds to go. A trip in the state final on the line. Long baseball pass comes down here. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to stay black ball. No time went off the clock.
Well, and that's one thing. I'm not sure if the ball did get touched, then the clock should have been running. But that changes things a bunch right now, because I think it did. It sure looked like someone from Maquoketa Valley tipped it right here, but the clock, there should have been about a second that ticked off the clock right there. But that's not something you can replay. The officials are going to get together and talk about it right now, because, yes, if the ball was indeed tipped right here in front of us, which it looked like it probably was, they need to take about another second and a half off the clock.
Let's look at it again. The baseball pass from Scheich. Let's see where the tip is. Right there, it looks like Chestnut got her left hand on it. So right there, that ball, where it's tipped, it should almost be 3 seconds have gone off from that time.
And that's what they're going to discuss right now.
As we see the officials had a huddle, and now they're telling each.
I would imagine they'll give it about a 4.5 or so. And Eisbach is out there right away to let them know we've got to go. No time.
Okay, so it's going to be 4.5. They took 1.5 off from the tip, and so from when the ball is tipped, it'll be Nodaway Valley basketball here with 4.5 seconds to go.
Right in front of us down here. Great view of it all. Against the 1-3-1, do they go for a win or the tie?
DeVault to put it in with 4.5. She gets it in. Coons. Now Davis. 3 seconds. 2. She's got to launch it. She won't get it off in time. Maquoketa Valley is into the finals in Class 2A with a 2-point win.
Davis is waiting up top for the cutter. And their first look was to try to get a 3, it looked like, on the corner from DeVault. And as soon as they took that away, she went to make the cut, and just not enough time to get it to her.
Well, and that's that scenario, Andy, where we're trying to get the ball to this girl, but when the clock is going down, sometimes you have to take it. Davis was waiting to try to get it to Vault, and even if she would have caught it cleanly, would have had no time on the clock.
Yeah, and that's, that extra second and a half.
For the awards
you
presentation.
set up your whole play based on the 6 seconds left.
Medallions. Each
and then things run out there at the end.
Will receive a basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Brian Eisbach and the Wolverines of Nodaway Valley on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Emerson Wittenbaugh will advance her team to the next round. Wildcat fans, your team advances to the finals. And we'll play the winner of our next game, West Branch or Dyke New Hartford, on Saturday, March 6th at 4 p.m.
Well, Andy, it was a doozy. We thought it'd be close, and this game lived up to the hype, 47-45. Maquoketa Valley gets outscored in the fourth quarter, 12-8, but they hold on to a 2-point lead. Nodaway Valley made it an absolute close game this entire way. Now, the biggest lead was 10 at one point, and then Nodaway Valley just kept chipping away there in the third quarter. What do you think the key was for Maquoketa Valley here today?
Well, they were so patient here at the end, and they had done very well throughout the course of the game, working their way around. And you saw a little bit of an adjustment from Nodaway Valley to take away that entry pass, so not a whole lot of great looks as Nodaway Valley extended their defense towards the end. But, as they hit 12 of their 16 free throws on the day, and that's huge. They were 12 of 16, and Nodaway Valley was only 10 of 17. So in a 2-point game, every single one of those matters. And in the end, it was 2 big free throws from Maquoketa Valley that wins it.
Maquoketa Valley does not score a field goal, if I'm reading this right, in the last 7:03.
Correct. Yep.
And still win. All right, we have to pick a Casey's player of the game, Andy Pollock. Who do you think?
I think you just have to go with Emerson Wittenbaugh today. 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Did a great job. Also big 3 for 3 in free throws on the day. So I'm just not sure how you could not choose Emerson Wittenbaugh for the player of the game.
Fans, Casey's is the proud sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and today's player of the game. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans and making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. Wow, that is the first of 5 games today. We'll have one more in 2A, 2 in 1A, and then the championship game tonight at 7 o'clock, 5A. Waukee and Johnson, a rematch of last year's. Laura Leonard and I will have the call on Iowa PBS at 7 o'clock. Andy, you've got one more game today, right?
Yeah, right. I'm going to hang around and watch some more basketball, but I've got one more game that I've got to call later this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to seeing Audie Crooks for the first time.
So Bishop Garrigan in that game trying to get back to create at least an opportunity for a rematch there. They play Exira EHK, and then the other half is Newell Fonda and Montezuma. So the next game is set to tip at noon here. We thank you for making us a part of your Friday morning. This was a great game, and the semifinals usually don't disappoint. So for all of us here on the crew, thank you so very much. For Andy Pollock, I'm Paul Yeager. Thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Maquoketa Valley headed to the championship game in Class 2A.